Howdy. This one's a bit technical, so bear with me as I wave my hands in the air. Had a number of requests lately relative to TV and how it's calculated and roll up and all this sort of technical stuff. So I thought I'd address it conceptually and then talk about maybe enroll in place as another concept that plays into that. Your TV, as listed in your back office, is inaccurate by definition all through the month. It's inaccurate until it's no longer inaccurate, and it's accurate, but that's when the month is closed. The reason for that is this. If you have someone frontline to you, for example, that was a manager and have therefore qualified at that level, but this month aren't going to, the volume they do, as well as the volume that would have been part of their team volume, now rolls up to your team volume. And so the company doesn't show that unqualified manager roll-up, if you will, during the month. Because we don't know during the month if that manager is going to qualify at the last moment or not, and then your TV drops and you panic because you assumed that it was there and now it's not there and now I'm short, etc., etc. So your TV is always understated relative to that circumstance. What you've got to do is go in and look and say and know your people and what they're doing and not doing and say, okay, that person's likely not going to qualify. I think I can count on their frontline volume as part of my TV, but I need to keep a close eye on that in case, for whatever reason, they hear the buzz around them and they decide to qualify their position and therefore take, by virtue of their PV, that frontline PV of theirs away from you for your TV. Complicated stuff. The summary version is this. Don't rely on other people's unqualification or disqualification or lack of qualification to help you qualify. Yes, that's a benefit. Yes, that will ultimately accrue valuably to you when and if they don't. Just don't rely on it. Build your business in such a way that your frontline people and their PV, together with your own PV, the things that you can more directly control, get you what you need in aggregate for your TV, so everything is taken care of. And then if you happen to get some roll up or whatever else added to it once the month closes, then hallelujah, you just got a bigger cherry on the top. I mean, you want nice width, at least 5, certainly 5 active at 100 in order to qualify for maximum width and depth in terms of payout. Just be mindful of the fact that that TV figure is usually inaccurate, certainly always usually understated. Just don't count on it. Now, along those same lines, this enroll in place. Let me tell you my rules of thumb for that. You can sign someone and put them, I can be the sponsor or the enroller, and I put them under someone else as the sponsor. I generally don't do that as my habit for 2 reasons. One, I want to do what's right for them, not filling in some blank in some arbitrary matrix I'm trying to do. Likewise, I don't want them feeling like a chattel, like some trade bait, like I'm moving them around like a piece on a chessboard. This is a relationship business. And so my relationship with them has been positively contributing to them wanting to join me and us. And so I respect that by usually putting them front line. Now, the exception to that is if there is a geographic or demographic reason for me to put them with someone else. For example, if they lived in Timbuktu and I am already working with a group in Timbuktu, it makes sense for me to put them with that group in Timbuktu. But I would explain to them why I'm doing that. I would set up the conversation with the person that I'm working with, the leader in Timbuktu, to say, hey, I'm giving you a new person. It makes most sense for there to be one unified team there rather than me creating 2 competing teams. So, rules of thumb for me, I always put them front line unless there is a compelling reason to not, usually geographic or demographic. Demographic example would be a doctor. If this is a doctor, maybe I want to put them with another doctor. But my default is frontline to me until I'm at least 5 active individuals wide and then a few extras for spare. And if they happen to grow some reasonable volume, I've already pre-banked my AFP position 2, 3, 4, etc. A little bit of a handsy, wavy in the air explanation. But always do what's best for them. Because ultimately, that is what will be what's best for you. Playing around and using them as an asset to try and extract something out of someone downline to you usually isn't a productive game even if you have the ability to do it. Just because you can move someone around and enroll in place doesn't necessarily mean you should.